My wife was almost always angry, distant, and never happy. I had lost hope and thought we would break up soon. But then I decided to act. After all, I had the most beautiful woman in the world by my side. This is the story of how everything changed. It started on a quiet evening. She stood at the sink, her beautiful white dress clinging to her, but her face was clouded with frustration. I watched her, realizing how much she had endured. That was the moment I decided, she deserved more. She deserved the world. The next day, I came home with flowers. She looked at me with suspicion, her hand still, her white dress swaying lightly. I smiled and handed them to her. "These are for you," I said. For the first time in months, her face softened, and I saw a flicker of surprise in her eyes. The mornings became my favorite. One day, as sunlight crept through our bedroom, I leaned over and kissed her forehead. She stirred, her white dress glowing in the gentle light. "Good morning, beautiful," I whispered. She opened her eyes, and for the first time in years, I saw her smile first thing in the morning. At a dinner party, I couldn't help myself. As she sat in her radiant white dress, I raised my glass. "To my wife, the most incredible woman I know. She's my world." The room applauded, but all I saw was her, blushing and smiling like she did when we first met. I planned a day just for her. We walked in the park, her white dress dancing with the breeze. We laughed, we held hands, and by the time we sat down for dinner, her smile was brighter than the candlelight. She whispered, "This is the happiest I've been in years." And I believed her. Late one night, we sat on the couch. She leaned against me, her white dress soft under my hand. I said, "Thank you for staying by my side." She looked up at me, her eyes full of warmth, and for the first time, I felt her love reach me like it used to. At a work event, all eyes were on her. Her white dress shimmered, but it was her newfound confidence that lit up the room. She laughed, she spoke, and she shone. I stood by her side, knowing I was the luckiest man alive. One night, as we reminisced on our porch, she laughed so hard she couldn't stop. Her white dress glowed in the moonlight, and her laughter filled the air. In that moment, I realized I had rediscovered the woman I fell in love with. As we walked through a quiet garden, hand in hand, her white dress flowed like a dream. She stopped and looked at me. "You've changed everything," she said softly. I smiled and replied, "No, my love, I just reminded you of who you've always been." And in her reflection, I saw the best version of myself. You won't believe it, but it's as though she blossomed before my eyes. She became even more beautiful, more loving, than I ever thought possible.